I'm a investor now that's just starting, I don't have any investments yet. Among all of those growth areas, where do you suggest for people to at least dabble into property or condo spaces? For those who are entering right now, what's a good yield to peg that they could get for a return, given that prices are not where they were 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Is there a bubble coming? Should people be scared that since we've been in a very, very, very long bull run, is there something that people have to be cautious about based on the just sheer price appreciation? When you were starting out, how did you build your investments? And for people who are just starting, what tips could you give them? Or even based from your story, what did you do? How did you build it also? Hi guys, we're with David Leechiu. He just finished his talk in Icon Iloilo, and he's one of the experts, one of the thought leaders when it comes to property and real estate investing here. So for people, here's a very, very quick question. No? You gave a lot of data about property prices going up in the Philippines. If I'm a investor now that's just starting, I don't have any investments yet. Among all of those growth areas, where do you suggest for people to at least dabble into property or condo spaces?
Yeah, so I always go for conservative. So buy a condominium in the core city of Makati and Bonifacio. That is probably the single safest place you can invest your money, get recurring income, and then hold it for the long term.
Is even if it's higher right now, the returns will still follow later on, or
Yeah, I think prime real estate will not generate double-digit cash flows for you, but it will certainly be a safer place to generate wealth than it is to punt in places where the volume of transactions is very low. And what you want kasi is an asset that you can easily generate cash flow with very little risk. And I think Makati and Bonifacio are still those markets.
okay. How about the Moa area? Will it somehow catch up, or that's pretty much predicated on what's happening in that area and the Chinese, pretty much related to Chinese as
It's a
well?
very good question. So I think right now the hottest market is the Bay, but the Bay has been a flashpoint for the last 3 years, and it's driven primarily because of Pogo. The property prices in both capital values and rents have the highest appreciation in the Bay, driven by one industry, the Pogo industry. And I guess the risk there. Well, right now it's still too early to say what will happen to the Pogo industry. Is it sustainable? Is it going to be a flash in the pan? But if as a first-time investor, priority is Bonifacio, Makati, and then you go to the next tier market, which I think is the Bay, Alabang, Cebu, capital city in Iloilo, capital city in Bacolod. So primarily capital cities. And then when you're able to generate enough recurring income and scalable recurring income over a long period of time, then you can go land banking.
For those who are entering right now, what's a good yield to peg that they could get for a return, given that prices are not where they were 10, 15 years ago?
I think so first of all, property prices have gone up, capital values, but the rents are also coming up. So the yields are also catching up. So a decent yield will be about 5% cash per year. Sometimes it could be as high as 9% per year. And then the bonus of real estate is that you have the benefit of capital appreciation while you're generating cash, which is what makes real estate unique. So over time, some years you will generate 4%, 5% returns. Some days you will generate 12% returns. So it's really a test of time.
All right. Last two questions, and this has been people have been asking this for years now. Even in Icon 2017, this was a prevailing question. Is there a bubble coming? Should people be scared that since we've been in a very, very, very long bull run, is there something that people have to be cautious about based on the just sheer price appreciation?
So it doesn't seem like there's a bubble. In all sectors of the property market, office, residential, logistics, warehouse, retail, hotels, the demand is greater than the supply. And that just means capital and rental values will continue to climb because of that. And that's a very healthy situation to be in. We are producing supply to try to meet the demand, but the demand is still outstripping the supply. Again, very healthy situation. And what we have to do is constantly study the supply and demand dynamics, what affects supply, what affects demand, so that we can plan accordingly to avoid any mishaps and manage debt.
Is there anything that could tip that in the next year, or everything is still moving according to plan? That is low, and then there's more cash moving into the system.
Yes, I don't see anything dramatic happening.
Okay.
There is a lot of talk in the press right now about the pogo industry and the viability of it. Personally, I think it might be too early to make a call. And I think if they continue to grow for another 12 months, I think we will be in a very, very good place.
Okay. Lastly, let's end this in a very inspirational note. When you were starting out, how did you build your investments? And for people who are just starting, what tips could you give them? Or even based from your story, what did you do? How did you build it also?
So, three priorities. First priority is to invest in the stock market meaningfully.
Oh.
And bear in mind that I think the stock market is the fastest, easiest way to generate wealth. It is also the fastest way to lose your wealth. So, it is not a free ticket, but it is certainly the best way to generate wealth. And then once you're able to do that, then you generate assets that you can rent out to generate recurring income for the long term. Build your recurring income base and then go into land banking, number 3. So, stock market, recurring income, land banking.
When people earn from the rentals, do you suggest they take it out and use it already, or they use it to just bring it back and buy more?
You have to keep reinvesting it. You can reinvest it in the stock market, you can reinvest it in buying more assets.
All right, well said from one of the best here. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this. No, this is something that we hear different stories and opinions and expertise of people to give you the right insights so you can make the right decisions on your investment. So, David Leechiu, one of the best guys, one of the best. So, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you all again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.